What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D. Hey, make sure you subscribe to my page. As we get closer and closer to this election, it is important that we share honest, pro-democracy content. Okay, so I think we have another sighting of Donald Trump's weave. Although, as we all know, he never weaves back to the question. But at this town hall, you know the one that got really awkward at the end? We'll get to that on this channel as well. But he was asked a question, a specific question. How are you going to help small businesses? And the answer got bizarre. It just got weird and it went off on this. I'm going to have you watch it because, again, he never weaves back to that question.
What's your plan to help bring common sense back and help small businesses that got destroyed by Democrats after COVID and the Biden administration?
So, great. Because small businesses are actually bigger than big businesses when you add them all up, and it's very important. And sounds like yours. I would love your food. I can tell by looking at that guy. I think I'd like to go over there. If I'm over there, I'm going to stop it. The fact is that, you know, they want to get away from gas. And I have friends, they're into the cooking world. I'm not. I just like to eat.
Okay, brilliant way to start the weave. Small businesses, bigger than big businesses when you add them all up. This guy looks like he likes to eat. I'm going to go to his restaurant one day. I have a lot of friends who's in the food business. I'm not in the food business. I just like to eat. They're trying to get rid of all gas. First of all, no one's trying to get rid of all gas. What are you talking about? But it's the weave, so let's let him finish.
But they're into the cooking, and I don't know how you feel. It sounds like they feel that gas is much better than the electric for cooking, right? And they have this thing about, you know, they want to put gas out of business, right? No gas. You know the amazing thing? We don't have electric in this country, but we have all the gas you can use. We have oil and gas. That's what we have.
Okay, he's still weaving. So he says cooks, they like gas over electric. And you know they're trying to put gas out of business. They're not. What is he talking about? I have no idea. But again, he's weaving. And then he says, you know what's amazing? In this country, we don't even have electric. We have oil and gas. And you know that's crazy, bro, because you know what? I don't know how this ring light is working, how this phone is working, how I'm going to turn this TV on, play this Xbox, or how my entire home has heat, air, and lighting. But again, he's weaving. I'm sure he's going to get back to that question, which is, how are you going to help small businesses?
And even the cars, if you look, they want to go with all electric cars. California is having blackouts every week, brownouts, blackouts, and then they come up with rules and regulation to go to all electric, but they can't even supply what they have. It's so nuts.
Okay, so we've weaved our way on the cars now. They want all electric. They don't. California's having rolling blackouts and brownouts every single week. We aren't. I live in California. We've had some, but so have many other states. But again, I'm sure he's weaving his way back to the question, which again was, how are you going to help small businesses?
We're going to get, number one, your utility costs. You heard me say it before. Your costs will be down, and we're getting rid of all the and if you want electric, great. And if you want gas, great. The only thing you can't have is a hydrogen car, right? You heard me say that, right? Because you know what happens? They have a new car, they say it's great, but it's got one problem. You know what the problem is? Every once in a while, one will blow up. And if it does blow up and you happen to be inside of it, you're in bad luck because you're not recognizable. Do you know that? It's the new thing, hydrogen. I said, no, thank you. I don't want it. They called the wife. That's not my husband. Oh, yes, it is. It's no good.
Okay, so somehow we've weaved our way into hydrogen cars. He started to say, I'm going to get rid of all electric. But then he stopped and he said, you know, if you want electric, that's fine. If you want gas, that's fine. But what you can't have are hydrogen cars. And this is really weird because, again, the question was, how are you going to help small businesses? But then he talks about hydrogen cars and how you can't have those because those blow up. And then they call the wife and she's like, that's not my husband. Ha, ha, ha. What the hell is he talking about? Like, seriously, what is going on? And I think in this last segment, he thinks he weaved himself back to the question. But again, he never answered the question.
So if we get your energy costs will be down by 50%. Your interest is going to come down, and people are going to start to make, not only you, people will have more money to go to your restaurant. You're going to have a great business.
Okay, so first of all, he never answered the question. He was asked, how are you going to help small businesses? He said what he's going to do. This is what he always does. I'm going to lower your costs. How are you going to do that? I'm going to lower inflation. How are you going to do that? I'm going to get your grocery bills down. How are you going to do that? There's never a how because he has no idea. But let's pretend for a second. He does the weave, right? This weave is a thing that he does, and he always weaves back to the question. What's the point? What's the point of the weave? Someone wants the answer to a question so that they can get to the next question, and you're weaving around to a bunch of nonsensical BS that means nothing to no one. No one wants that answer. So the weave is a waste. It's a complete waste of time. If it were an actual thing, it's really the fact that he just rambles. Let's be clear here. He rambles, but let's pretend he's weaving. Why all the fluff? If I ask you, what are you going to do for small businesses? Just tell me. Tell me that answer. Then we can move on to the next one. And maybe at some point in your closing statements, you can do all the goddamn weaving you want. Then we could all leave like most people do before you're done anyway, because they're bored with all your weaving. Rambling is what it really is that you're doing. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.